Yo, welcome back to the channel. Right, this is day 5 of the rewire job. So today I'm going to be getting on with changing that little beauty out. Lewis is getting on with some of the rest of the little repairs and stuff. Then he's going to look at putting some network cables in, which is an additional job. Jack's not with me today because he is doing his driving test. So hopefully that goes well. So yeah, so if you've not subscribed, why not? Link's in the corner. Press it. Job's good and we're all friends. We can all get on. Right, so in here we've got, it's all dead, completely isolated off. So a lot of this in here is now going to be gone as such. Like I've already cut a lot of this out that's already there. So my job now is to label up what's still going to be used. So we've got this one here with all those in is the upstairs lights. That one is the new downstairs lights. That is the loft sockets, and then that one is the loft shower. So they're the ones that are on original left, so they're going to be obviously sorted. So what we're fitting is this little beauty. So me and my baby boy were building this up the other day. So we've actually got a 10-way fuse box board that's going in. This should fit in just nice in that gap, because I know if you watched on the earlier videos that I was worried about basically the location for it, of actually getting it to fit in. So we weren't sure whether I was actually going to be able to get that to work, because obviously it's quite tight in here. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'll get all this stripped out and then I'll catch up with you once I get the board mounted and show you how I'm going to go on about doing that. So bear with me. Right, so it's all, so what I've got is I've got some 100 by, what's that, 100 by 50 is it? Trunking, something like that on there. I've just put some all round band. There's these DeWalt, what are they? They are, hold on. There we go, DeWalt wall dog fixings in there, so to hold that all in place. So once that's all in, so now what I'm going to do is to put some all round band, put all my cables in, and then I'll fold those around, and there's another one up there, and then there's all sealing that we're going to need to do at the top. So what I'll do now is now put my cables all in position. So starting this end and work my way through, get all the cables in, and then that way we can start wiring them all back up and get all the buzz bar back in. But I think what I'm going to do first, because I always found if I don't do this now, it ends up being a bit of a nuisance. So I'll get my meter tails in, not connect anything, just leave them hanging. And that way I can get them all in, terminate them all properly, zip tie these out the way, get all that sorted so they're all neat, and then start putting all the cables in. Right, I thought I'd check in with you. Right, so the board's pretty much there now. I've put some fire sealant and stuff in, so that's all good, but because there's quite a big void behind there, I need to probably put a little bit more in once that's gone off a bit more. So it's all tested out now. We used the banding strap for the top, so that's all strapped in. So this one here is my garage supply at the minute, which is basically, being completely honest with you, that's how it is at the minute. So that was how it was. So when I come to do that, I think I'm going to bring that armoured up as high as I can, hoping to get like a whisker box on here, and then that will sort of take the rest of that in. I think there's enough length on it, but then I've got it to sort out here. So there's this bit down there, sort all that out, because it's literally what, like a metre each one, gap wise. New board down there, but it's raining now. So yeah, but me and Lou had to go on a bit of a call out job to go and look at another job where a car's crashed into the building. So we've had to go and have a look at that. So it's took a little bit longer than what I thought. So we're about here. So what I'll do is I'll catch up with you when I come back on the weekend. So we're back, obviously, at the rewire job. So this is obviously where you last saw it a second ago. was obviously where the board was, and then that job we went to look at, which was the accident damage, was just dragged on and on and on. So I had to deal with 2 different businesses that it's affected. So such is life. So what we're doing now is so the board is literally at this state now where I've partially labelled it up. So now we're going to work on the garage supply. I've got a couple of little bits and bobs that I need to finish off in the house, so like smoke alarms and stuff like that. So Jack has neatened all the armoured up, so I don't know whether you even saw that then. So yeah, so basically Jack's neatened all that up for me, so I'll get on with the other end. So what Jack's doing down here, he is going to, it's quite a long drive this is, to be fair. So what we're doing in here is we're going to have, so the board is going to be down here a little bit because we need to terminate it. So how that was left was it's not terminated at all properly. It's just, yeah, not a very good job. Main switch is all bust prop. It's just not good. So that's all coming out. Got a new fuse box board going on with a RCD incomer. So we're going to have a double socket here. Light switch, another double socket, and an IP rated light that's going to go on here, and that's basically it. It's doesn't really get used other than, you're a noisy bugger, isn't he? Doesn't get used other than for your freezer and then the running machine occasionally. So what Jack's doing, he's stripping it all out. I'm going to go and crack on, and I'll leave you with Jack. So I've just recorded this bit, but Mike's just come back and told me that the microphones wasn't on. So I've got to redo it, but I've just stripped out all of these cables that are running along here. Took that socket off there, the switch and the socket there as well, and the sockets above this little mini consumer unit. So I've just started to, I'm going to re-put all the trunking in before I wire all the new stuff up, because it would just be easier to put the trunking in first. So I'm going to put some in here where the switch is going and the socket. I'm just going to run some 2.5mm and 1mm up across, drop the 1mm down for the switch, and then another one out to up to the light, and the 2mm just into the socket, because I'm doing a ring final, not a whole ring in here, because we're only having one socket. So gonna do that. I'm gonna just get this trunking up, and then we've back up. Right, so I've got the trunking on. Got 1, 2, and another one over there. I'm going to run the cables now, because I think it's going to be easier to get them in the back boxes, because they've got one here. This one's coming out a bit from the wall, so I'm trying to get that back in. But if I put the back boxes in, I think it's going to be quite hard to get the cables in if I put the back boxes in first. So I'm going to wire the cables up, I'm going to feed them into the mattresses, and then screw them all on and everything. I've marked all the holes out for them, so that should be alright. So I'm going to run some 2.5 and 1mm up from there over, and I'll set you up on time lapse as I do. So what I'm doing now is I'm just fitting these little fire suppressant things in the trunk and I forgot to do it, and Mark's just reminded me. So basically you fit them, and when you've got the cable ran in, you just bend them over it, and it's just helps it keep in place. And it's just a big safety aspect, really. You got to fit them in places like this anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm just going to get them on now. I've got to put another bit of trunking in as well for the 1mm, because I'd rather not run them in the same one, because then I'd have to bring it out of here and then bring it across, and it would just look messy. So I'm just going to put another one in there, make it look a lot neater. And yeah. And just a side note, if you're using this kind of trunking with like the sticky back, don't let it fall on a carpet, because that is what happens, and it's going to be horrible to try and get out. So the light's on. Really quick to fit these lights are these new strip lights that we're using with these clips that just literally, when you want to fit this bit on, just clip on like that. Really easy to fit the grommet in the other end, the gland, whatever you want to call it, and you're done. Easy as that. Easy job, quick job. I do like these ones. I prefer them to the old ones we were using. They're very good, yeah. And that's about it, really. Actually, with this one, I'm going to get a new pattress on it, and I'm going to run a cable up around the... Right, so it's at this point when I realise that the microphone's completely dead. And it's a real shame, because Jack's absolutely smashed it. So obviously I'm in my office right now going through all that, and he goes on to explain obviously what he's done and the board, how he's done it and all the rest of it. So it's a real shame. So it doesn't really reflect on what he's actually done. But yeah, I think we can all agree that he's definitely going to be on YouTube a lot more, doing loads more content. So like I say, show your support, give us a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Jack would love it if he gets most subscribers on this one and smashes me a bit of bragging rights. And yeah, by the way, he passed his driving test too. So if it's worth nothing more than loads of subscribers, he's passed his test. 3rd time's a charm. Well done, Jack.